us all together. Lord, we gather in your name as children of a sovereign God. Forever we proclaim, to God be all glory.
Well, good morning. How you doing? It is Thursday, January 29th, 2026. Welcome to episode 579 of The Thinking Theologian as we continue our journey through the scriptures. So today we are in Genesis chapter 48 through 50, finishing the book of Genesis. And the title of today is Man's Plans Are Not Greater Than God's. The book of scriptures in Genesis 50:20, and this is what it says: As you plan evil against me, God planned it for good to bring about the present result, the survival of many people. So I'm a planner. I am. And sometimes it's a little too much. I like for things to be a certain way and to happen at a certain time. My plans can create frustration for others because I can become very rigid in the implementation. Why? Being very transparent, I consider my plans to be very well thought out. I also consider them to be plans that will use time extremely efficiently. I hate wasting time for things. It drives me bonkers. And when I do waste time, it's something I can't let go. But this belief that I have can often lead to sin because I believe my planning can't fail. Even though I know I can, there's a lot of times where my mentality and thinking go that direction. But my planning is nothing compared to the Lord's. In today's reading, Joseph tells his brothers that they planned evil against him. However, the Lord planned those situations for good, that the Lord used those situations for good. Joseph was making a bold declaration. God is in charge and his plans are perfect. This is even true when we experience suffering. This is even true when other people believe they are hurting or harming us in our lives. No situation or detail is outside of the Lord's foreknowledge and plans. He is never surprised by anything that goes on in our lives or in our situations. So why does this matter? Because knowing that man's plans are not the final authority gives us hope. How do I know this? My plans are based on bias and finite knowledge. My plans are based on preferences and beliefs. My plans can be tainted by sin and disobedience. However, the plans of the Lord are perfect and powerful. They also take into account the evil and wickedness of people. The Lord's plans are greater than the smartest person ever to exist. So I find this truth comforting, especially when I think about people who wish to do me harm. Maybe it's even people who want to see me fail personally and professionally, which I have experienced. These people may win a small victory while I suffer and go through difficulties. However, I know that the Lord plans to use my situation to prepare me for the future and fulfill his ultimate goal in my life and others. Now, what those plans are and what's going on, I can't tell you, but I do know he has a plan and a purpose behind everything I'm going through, even when people wish and plan to do me evil and to do things that are unbiblical and ungodly, that God will use those for his glory and his good. And so what I want to convey today is trust in the Lord's plans. Trust that every situation we face has a greater purpose. Acknowledge that nothing can happen to you that doesn't have the foreknowledge of God. And that means he knows what's going to happen. He's not surprised and never taken aback by anything. A confidence in the Lord's plans trump any evil we may experience. Now, I'm not sure where your faith is at today, but hold on to this truth. The Lord knows what is coming your way. It will be used to his advantage and our good. And there shouldn't be anything wrong with that. And it should encourage us and give us hope over things we're going to face in our lives. And what I mean by his advantage is that he's going to use it to accomplish his purpose, that he's not going to be taken aback or surprised by anything that we go through and experience. And so God's plans are good. My plans may be good in my mind, but they're not perfect like the Lord's. And that's where we need to put our focus and our trust in everything we do, because we can rest in his perfect choosing. And again, Joseph experienced more suffering than any of us probably ever will in our entire lives. And he looked at his brothers and said, you had a plan for this evil, but God had a greater plan. And that was to sustain people and to save people. And that's where we need to look as we continue this journey in our faith, that if God's truly in control, and we truly believe, and we know He is, but but our actions will determine, and our thought process will determine whether we believe that or not. So tomorrow we'll be in Exodus chapter 1 through 3. Thank you for being with us today. Have a